History remembers William Wallace draped in the blue war paint of a barbarian. His visage, fierce and unyielding, has been immortalized in countless tales and depictions, each one adding a layer of mystique to his already formidable presence. He is a giant of a man wielding a broadsword, his legend built on whispers and exaggerations. The sheer size of his weapon, a symbol of his strength and determination, has become a focal point in the stories passed down through generations. These tales often paint him as a larger-than-life figure, a hero whose very name could strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. But the true story of Wallace is far more compelling, far more human than the myths that surround him. Beyond the grandiose legends lies a man of flesh and blood, driven by a deep sense of justice and an unyielding desire for freedom. His journey from an ordinary man to a symbol of resistance is a testament to the power of the human spirit. He was not born a warrior king, but forged into one by the fires of oppression. The hardships and injustices he witnessed and endured shaped him into a leader who would stop at nothing to see his people free. The blacksmith's hammer and the warrior's training were not just physical preparations, but also symbolic of the inner strength and resolve that Wallace would come to embody. To understand Wallace, we must journey back to a turbulent Scotland, a land of mist-shrouded glens and fierce, proud people. The rugged beauty of the Scottish Highlands, with its rolling hills and deep valleys, serves as a backdrop to a story of struggle and defiance. It is a land where every stone and stream has witnessed the echoes of battles fought for freedom. Wallace's story is not one of a single man, but of a nation wrestling with the iron grip of conquest. The Scottish people, with their indomitable spirit, stood together against the might of an empire, their collective will to resist becoming the foundation of Wallace's legend. Each skirmish and battle was a chapter in a larger narrative of a nation's fight for sovereignty. It's a story of resilience, of courage in the face of insurmountable odds, and the enduring spirit of freedom that burns bright even in the darkest of times. The bravery of the Scottish warriors, their willingness to lay down their lives for the cause, is a testament to the unbreakable bond between a people and their homeland. Their sacrifices were not in vain, for they lit a flame of hope that would continue to burn through the ages. It is a story that deserves to be told, not with the embellishments of legend, but with the weight of truth. The real William Wallace, stripped of myth and hyperbole, stands as a beacon of what it means to fight for one's beliefs. His legacy is not just one of battle and bloodshed, but of the enduring human spirit's capacity to rise against tyranny. By understanding the man behind the legend, we gain a deeper appreciation for the values he stood for and the impact he had on the course of history. As we walk through the ancient castles and ruins that dot the Scottish countryside, we are reminded of the enduring legacy of Wallace and his compatriots. These stones, weathered by time, stand as silent witnesses to the struggles and triumphs of a people who refused to be subdued. Each castle, each ruin, tells a story of resilience and the unyielding quest for freedom. Today, the spirit of William Wallace lives on in the hearts of the Scottish people. Modern-day Scotland, with its vibrant culture and rich heritage, continues to celebrate the legacy of its heroes. Festivals, reenactments, and monuments serve as reminders of the sacrifices made by those who came before, ensuring that their stories are never forgotten. The Scottish flag, waving proudly in the wind, symbolizes the enduring spirit of a nation that has weathered countless storms. Visitors to historical sites across Scotland are not just tourists, but pilgrims, paying homage to the heroes who shaped the destiny of this proud land. Through their stories, we are reminded of the power of resilience, the importance of standing up for one's beliefs, and the timeless quest for freedom. As the sun sets over the Scottish Highlands, casting a golden hue over the landscape, we are left with a sense of awe and reverence for the land and its people. The story of William Wallace though shrouded in legend, is a powerful reminder of the enduring human spirit's capacity to fight for justice and freedom. It is a story that continues to inspire, urging us to remember the past and carry its lessons into the future. The year is 1286. Alexander III, King of Scots, lies dead after a fatal fall from his horse. His sudden death sends shockwaves through the kingdom, a tragic event that marks the beginning of a dark and tumultuous period for Scotland. The king's untimely demise leaves a void in leadership, a vacuum that would soon be felt across the land. His heir, the young Maid of Norway, perishes at sea, leaving Scotland vulnerable, a kingdom ripe for the picking. The stormy seas that claimed her life also symbolized the turbulent times ahead for the Scottish people. With no clear successor, the nation is thrown into a state of uncertainty and fear. The once stable kingdom now stands on the brink of chaos, its future hanging in the balance. England, under the ambitious gaze of King Edward I, sees an opportunity, a chance to expand his kingdom and crush the proud spirit of the Scots. Edward, known for his strategic mind and unyielding ambition, views Scotland's vulnerability as a golden opportunity. He begins to plot his conquest, envisioning a unified Britain under his rule. His eyes are set on the northern lands, and he is determined to bring them under English control. Edward, a ruler known for his ruthlessness, installs himself as the arbiter of the Scottish throne. He asserts his authority with an iron fist, leaving no room for dissent. The Scottish nobles, already reeling from the loss of their king and heir, find themselves at the mercy of Edward's machinations. He demands their loyalty, using both diplomacy and intimidation to bend them to his will. He plays Scottish lords against each other, demanding their loyalty in exchange for the right to rule. Edward's cunning tactics sow seeds of discord among the Scottish nobility. He exploits their rivalries and ambitions, turning them against one another. The once united front of the Scottish lords begins to crumble, each noble vying for Edward's favor and the promise of power. The Scottish nobles, divided and weakened by internal strife, fail to see the greater threat looming on the horizon. Their focus on personal gain blinds them to the larger danger posed by Edward's ambitions. The infighting and mistrust among them only serve to strengthen Edward's position, making it easier for him to tighten his grip on Scotland. They underestimate Edward's ambition at their peril. As his forces march towards their lands, the Scottish nobles remain oblivious to the full extent of the threat. The shadow of conquest looms ever larger, and the proud nation of Scotland stands on the precipice of a new and uncertain era. The lion sleeps, but for how long? Edward I, the Hammer of the Scots, earns his moniker through brutal efficiency. His relentless campaigns against the Scottish are marked by a cold, calculated strategy that leaves no room for mercy or compromise. Edward's ambition to bring Scotland under English control is unwavering, and he employs every resource at his disposal to achieve this end. His armies, disciplined and well-equipped, march north, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. These soldiers, hardened by years of warfare, are a formidable force. They move with precision and purpose, their banners fluttering in the wind, a symbol of the English king's unyielding will. Villages are burned, crops are destroyed, and the Scottish countryside is left in ruins. Castles fall, towns are sacked, and the Scottish people find themselves under the yoke of a foreign power. The once proud fortresses of Scotland crumble under the relentless assault of Edward's forces. The towns, once bustling with life, are now scenes of chaos and despair. The Scottish people, caught in the crossfire, suffer immensely. Their homes are destroyed, their livelihoods taken away, and their spirits crushed. The English king's rule is one of iron. He strips Scottish nobles of their power, replaces them with English administrators, and demands absolute obedience. The Scottish nobility, once the pillars of their society, are reduced to mere shadows of their former selves. English officials loyal to Edward take their place enforcing the king's will with ruthless efficiency. The Scottish people are forced to bow to a new authority, one that shows little regard for their traditions or way of life. The very fabric of Scottish life, their laws, their customs, their freedom, is systematically dismantled and replaced with the cold, hard reality of English rule. The ancient laws and customs that once governed Scottish society are swept away, replaced by English regulations that serve the interests of the conquerors. The Scottish people, once free to live according to their own traditions, now find themselves bound by the dictates of a foreign power. Resistance, however, flickers in the shadows. Despite the overwhelming might of the English forces, the spirit of the Scottish people is not entirely extinguished. In hidden corners of the land, whispers of rebellion begin to spread. Brave men and women, unwilling to accept their fate, start to organize and resist. They know that the road ahead is fraught with danger, but they are determined to fight for their freedom no matter the cost. The shadow of the hammer may be long and dark, but the flame of resistance burns ever brighter. Among the Scottish lords vying for the throne is William Wallace's father, Sir Malcolm Wallace of Elderslie. A respected knight and landowner, Sir Malcolm instills in his son a deep love for Scotland and a burning hatred for injustice. He teaches young William the ways of war, the importance of honor, and the value of freedom. Tragedy strikes when Sir Malcolm is killed in a skirmish with English soldiers. The death of his father leaves a void in William's life, a burning need for vengeance and a steely resolve to see Scotland free from English tyranny. The seeds of rebellion are sown.